Hello people, today I'm doing a review of Thor Love and Thunder. I was very excited to go see this film. I love Taika Waititi, I love Thor Ragnarok, and so I was so ready for this movie because we have Taika completely writing this time, and I just couldn't wait for a good time, and this movie really was a good time. I want to address something real quick before I get into like my actual review, and that just it involves the online discussion for this movie. And it's just been so annoying this time around. Like the last couple Marvel movies, like of course there's a little bit of an online bicker about, between like the film nerds and just moviegoers, I guess, or just all film nerds in general, because this time around it was so polarizing. There's people shouting from the rooftops, "This is horrible!" that are keep sharing the same 8 photos of the bad CGI, and then you have people responding to it with the 8 screenshots they have of good CGI moments. It's just been really annoying this time around. I'm just over it. And as it comes to CGI in this movie, this is the most I'll get into it. At moments it was amazing. At moments it was crap. It's Marvel CGI. What do you expect? That's the Marvel standard. There's crappy moments in CGI where you go, that looks like a PS2 game. There's parts where you go, oh my god, that looks real. How'd they do that? So, yeah, that's what I'll leave it at. And when I was thinking about this movie and how people react to it, I was thinking about it. I realized this is a very subjective movie and how you view it. I really think it's one of those movies that's either like you get it or you don't. And I don't want to sound like the people who get it are smarter than the people who don't get it. I think it's more so of like, do you like it or do you not like it? It's like when it comes to taste, food, stuff like that. This is one of like the movies. It's like either you like it or you don't. It's not like a movie that's like universally beloved. Like, I don't know what's a universally beloved movie. Like Jaws. It's not like it's either like you either like Jaws or you don't like Jaws. It's either you like Jaws or you don't like Jaws. Like with this movie, it's either you like it or you don't. So that's one of the better ways I can put it. And I'm on that side where I go, I really enjoyed it. And this movie has its problems, and it has some big problems. And I'm not gonna hold back when it comes to my criticisms on this film, but I'll just say, MCU is that studio where they can make a movie with a so-so script, so-so CGI, but still have you entertained from beginning to end. And what works about Marvel is people like to complain about Marvel movies and complain about this and complain about this, but at the end of the day, people forget about why people go see them. It's not because of the action sequences, it's clearly not for the CGI. And I don't think it's for the laughs, even though people like to think it's for the laughs. I think it's because people love these characters. They love these characters and they'll watch them do anything. And no matter like how bad a Thor movie will get, I will always enjoy seeing Chris Hemsworth as Thor on screen, because I've seen Chris Hemsworth as Thor on screen ever since I was 7 years old. I'm 17 now. A majority of my life, I've known not nothing, but a majority of my life, I've known Chris Hemsworth to be Thor. When I see him on the big screen as his character, I get excited, I get happy, because throughout the days I've seen movies, he's just always been there. So I just wanted to say a special thank you to Chris Hemsworth, because the way he's evolved as Thor, the way what him and Taika has done to the character over the last couple of years, I think has been really, really good. And yeah, I will say though, this is not my favorite Thor movie, and neither Ragnarok is my favorite Thor movie. My favorite Thor movie is actually the 2011 Thor. That's me personally, but and it's not like, I'll say it's pretty much a tie between Ragnarok and 2011 Thor, but I give Thor 2011 a slight edge. But yeah, anyways, let's talk about this movie. Like I said, it's a very subjective movie. Comedy, for me, it worked. You can go into this movie and think to yourself, that was so unfunny. It's a really type of a Taika Waititi sense of humor, where it's like the annoying type of sense of humor, where situational type stuff where you watch it from the outside and you find it funny, but if you're actually there, you'd find it really annoying. Best example are the goats in this movie. I thought I was cracking up with the goats and the way they screamed. It had me really cracking up. This movie has so many good bits where I was just really cracking up with how they did that. And there are a lot. There are a couple flashback sequences in this movie, long flashback sequences where they almost do recaps, and I feel like how you feel about those are kind of going to be like how you feel on the movie. I enjoyed them because there were subtleties of comedy, subtleties of actual drama, and actual emotion there, and I clicked with it. You might not click with it. You might find it really jarring. Personally, I clicked with it and I dug it. But yeah. But this movie's pacing moves really, really fast, which I appreciate a really lightning fast pace. But this movie's also really short. So the plot to this movie is pretty thin. It's like, I know the trailers really don't tell you what the plot is, but the actual plot is pretty thin to this movie. So, but the characters have a lot to do on paper. There are a lot of big arcs that each character has to go through, and that provides the emotion of the movie. And so, like I said, the plot's thin, and so when you have this lightning fast pace and you're going through the plot like this, you have a couple moments where you slow down and catch up with the characters. And one of my biggest complaints about this movie is I wanted more of that, because when the movie wraps up and these emotional arcs complete and it wraps up, I feel the emotion, but I think to myself, if the first thing I thought was, if this movie was about 30 minutes longer to get a couple more of those scenes, I would have been so much more moved by this film. And I want to be completely honest, if this movie simply had just like another 30 minutes, this could be top 5 MCU for me. But sadly, it can't, because what would have carried this film would have been the emotion if it just had more build up. What carries this film is the comedy and the characters. The characters and the arcs that they go through, I'm counting as separate things. Obviously, like the characters as an entertaining thing to watch on screen, while their arcs were they were completed and done well. I wanted more time to sit with some of the things though, because yeah, this movie, like I said, it really depends on it's so subjective, and so that makes it a very hard, at least for me, a very hard movie to review. I enjoyed it. Yes, the VFX is a little wonky at moments. I really enjoyed Christian Bale as Gore. Really, really enjoyed Christian Bale as Gore. I think he's a really menacing villain, and I think he gave a great performance. What he does in the film, well, I'm just gonna, no, spoilers. There's also a sequence in this movie I really, really like. My favorite sequence of this movie is the black and white sequence that you see happen on that little rock planet. I think it was really creative, really clever, and it really made you, it really is like a chest pumping moment type scene. I thought it was really good. I really liked Natalie Portman as Mighty Thor. I thought she was really good in the role. Returning once again, I really liked Valkyrie as well, even though she didn't have very much to do with this movie. Korg is, of course, funny as usual. Russell Crowe as Zeus was interesting. I kind of want to see what they do with him in the future, but I thought it was very interesting. And yeah, it was an entertaining watch. I watched it. It was paced well. It was directed okay. You know, it was a Marvel movie. This was a Marvel movie is the best way you can think about it. I don't think it's the top 10 Marvel. I don't think it's the worst Marvel movie I've ever seen. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. It's not the Marvel movie I'll be like, I need to watch that one again instantly. But yeah, I'm going to give Thor Love and Thunder a 7.5 out of 10. Comment down below what you guys thought of Thor Love and Thunder. I'm open to any discussion with this movie. Just be polite. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that. And adios.